from the time you arrived in 1967 on the court to now, the microphone, the restaurant, everything, the outfits, what's it like going through life being Mr. Knick?
It's very humbling. At this stage, when I look back and I haven't played in 35 years, and you're alluding to the fact that I have a restaurant, still doing the broadcasting. When I walk the street, people want my autograph, take pictures, so I know I'm a very blessed person to be here.
In your wildest dreams, did you ever think this was going to happen to you?
No, I thought I'd be sailing off into the sunset now in St. Croix. You know, because when I was retiring the NBA, most of the teams were losing money. I thought they would fold. So I went on a vacation there, had bought a house, and so my game plan was to have a captain's license, and I was going to rent my houses, my real estate, and sail around with the tourists. That's what I was going to do.
You were an all-star 7 times, but you never got to play an all-star game in New York. How great would that have been?
Well, you know, I was here the first one. I was a rookie.
You're right. That I remember.
67, yeah. So then I was thinking about how terrific it would be, but, you know, then I never got the opportunity. You're right. Whenever you can play before the home crowd in an all-star game, because I used to see the other guys in Philly, Cunningham, Chamberlain, you know, the way the fans reacted there. So it was very exciting.
How great is it for New York to have the all-star game here?
Well, this is the Mecca. So everybody likes to come here, to play here. So I think it's terrific that the Garden has had 3 of them. So that's probably unprecedented at the time. But, you know, New York is it. Everybody likes to show their wares. Not as much as when I played. When I played, you never heard about any controversy until guys came to New York, because they knew the media would be here to get exposure. But now with all the mass media that they have, it's pretty much like that everywhere now.
How important is it to a player to be named an all-star?
It's everything. It's a status symbol. And once I was named an all-star, I walked a little different. I talked a little different. My work ethic became more, because now I had a challenge. I had to prove that I was worthy of being an all-star. And that's why I'm flabbergasted. The NBA does not have at least 15 guys on each team now. When I played in the 60s and 70s, they had 12 guys, but we only had maybe 16 teams. So now you have 30 teams, they should at least have 15 guys on each team, because it was different when I was Walt Frazier, New York Knicks, and then when I went somewhere, I was Walt Frazier, all-star, New York Knicks. So right away, they can embellish some guys, 3 more guys, 6 more guys, and give them that type of opportunity. We saw that this year with the USA. Look at Plumlee. The guy was on the team. Look how his play changed. Harton, same way. They got an opportunity to play with the better players, so it really upped their game when they got that chance.
Besides being a 7-time All-Star, you also named to the All-NBA defensive team 7 times. What do you think of the way the guys so-called play defense today?
They don't think. Because if you listen to me, I'm always saying the first thing about defense is see the ball, see your man at the same time. So that way you can never be beaten backdoor, a lot of the things you see happening to the players. But the most glaring weakness to me is the 3-ball, where guys fouling a guy behind the 3-point arc, or leaving a guy uncontested behind the 3-point arc. So a lot of guys never, the cardinal rule of defense, only get off your man as far as you can get back. So these guys get too far off and they can't get back in time before a guy gets a shot off. But, you know, defense was my favorite part of the game. I love to play defense. I took a lot of pride in it, and that's why I excelled at defense.
Have the Knicks, past or present, ever asked you, hey, Clyde, can you come teach our guys a little bit about defense?
Nobody can believe that. They've never asked me. Only 3 players have really asked me. Houston, LJ, Greg Anthony have ever really come up to me and try to pick my brain about New York on and off the court, you know, the nuances of the game, of the city. But the Knicks have never called me in to do anything. Not only myself, what about Earl of Pearl, Bill Bradley? We have all these legendary players, 50 greatest players that they never utilize. Like the Yankees, I think, do the right thing. Every year in training camp, they bring all the players back, fraternize with the players. A lot of the players don't know our legacy, that we were once a dominant team in the NBA.
Does that surprise you that they don't understand the legacy of what you guys accomplished?
Yeah, because a lot of them are not students of the game. They play the game for the money. But I know George Mike, and I can go all the way back to the history of the game and tell you the entire game. Like most New Yorkers could do that.
Right.
Any guys, the fans or the players that come up in New York, they're like that. But a lot of these other players, they just got into the game. One time I heard Shaquille ask Lenny Wilkins, did he ever play the game? He didn't really know.
That's amazing.
Right.
All right, here's the question every New York Knicks fan wants to know. Can your good friend, Phil Jackson, and his head coach, Derek Fisher, get this situation turned around in a couple of years to maybe challenge for a championship?
Yeah, I believe in Action Jackson, my boss. I believe, we have to with his track record. You got to think that he could do it. He knows talent, albeit he's not coaching now. But to me, it's similar. If you know talent, you can coach or you could be a GM. I was somewhat surprised that he brought in Fisher, a neophyte, into New York City, the toughest market. But obviously, Phil was going to be the guy behind him, so that maybe mitigated some of it. But we never thought we'd get off to this inauspicious start because this wasn't plan A for Phil Jackson. Plan A was to get into the playoffs and then, as you mentioned, over the next 2 or 3 years, try to build a team back to championship caliber. So right now he's probably on plan B or C. When things just fell apart and pressure started to get on. But I like what he's done. Blow it up, which the Knicks have never done. The Knicks are the only team in New York that could never go on a 3 or 4 year rebuilding program. So now we're doing that. Next year we have cap money. So we have to get one more bona fide player to help Melo. And with our current status, maybe a good draft choice as well.